your name is Angela Shelton. What does those twins do? We're making a movie about all the Angela Sheltons in the country. It represents all the women of America, and you represent women in America. You do. Yes, please. And you know what's sad? What? Most of them have either been raped, beaten, or molested. Oh, that makes me feel much better. You freaky. I'm not. I'm nothing. You're a woman, aren't you? Yes. I am so drunk. Are you? Are you going to remember this conversation? No. Aww.
I'm getting ready to go on a journey. I'm leaving my house and my dog, and I'm going to see every Angela Shelton in the country. The ones that'll talk to me, anyway. I have about $5 in my pocket and a crew of 5, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it. Hi, this is Angela Shelton in Los Angeles. This might be the weirdest phone call you ever receive, but I'm doing a documentary called Searching for Angela Shelton, and we're going to every Angela Shelton in the country. Oh no, I'm not playing a joke. It's my way of surveying women in America. We range from 21 to 48, and you know, on a darker side, although I don't really want to portray it as dark, as most of us have been either raped, beaten, or molested. Yeah, there's a lot of Angelas that were raped.
Maybe your documentary has to help to get more awareness. You know, every time I talk to my boys growing up, you know, I want to make sure that they're treating women with respect and having their own self-esteem and not needing to victimize someone, whether it's victimizing them physically, verbally, but that has to be taught to them.
What about this building? What's it going to be?
This building's going to be our office, and then 2 retail up in front, 2 retail locations, and then this is going to be kinship office, and upstairs will be office suites.
What's a kinship office?
Kinship is the foster care and adoption.
And that's going to be in here?
Mm-hmm. Their consulting office and their local office.
I was in a foster home. It was horrible. They starved us. She would literally starve us. They took me out of my dad's house, which was incest. I come from a home full of incest. And we had to be put... Man, it's so funny. I can talk about my dad all the time, but I can't talk about this foster home. It was so horrible. It makes me so sad. It was such a horrible, horrible time in my life.
But if you hadn't had that time, you wouldn't be where you were now.
That's right.
You know, must have given you a lot of strength. You know, whatever happens, there's a reason for it, even though it's difficult.
We happened to be getting gas, and I met this woman, Lori Barr. So what happened?
My daughter, when she was 5, was sexually molested by a 13-year-old. And I prepared her to tell me, but I didn't prepare myself what to do if it should happen, you know. And it was a family that everybody thought was so respectful, and it wasn't. It spreads. It's an epidemic when you are quiet. When I went to the police, they're like, what are you crying about? He didn't, you know, penetrate. He stuck his dick down her throat. Now, if that isn't penetration, I don't know what is. And it's like, you know, I don't know what you think penetration is. But it was a penetration, it was a violation, and it violated me as well as her. And the way I was handled with, you know, the system is so messed up.
How old was she?
She was 5.
And she gave me this pin because she said that she wanted me to have peace of heart.
You know, you just gave me peace of heart. You really did.
Oh, you sweetheart.
Oh, I don't know, everything happens for a reason, and I just want you to know this is the best day of my whole life. My daughter and I are in there just, man, I don't know what made you guys come here, but I just want to say thank you so much. Oh.
And I started thinking, oh, my God, here, this woman told me that I changed her life, and I'm going on this journey to change my life. Some days I think that I don't know why I'm doing this. And then other days have to do this. Are you curious to know all the different women in America?
You know, after I taught you, yes, it did get my curiosity up. I was thinking, okay, I wanted to know what color hair, color eyes, are they tall, thin, what they did for a living. And I am a leisure technologist. I do not work. I don't know if I'd go see a documentary like this, but you got me interested.
You might if you were in it.
No, it depends on what you put in it.
You think anybody's going to want to watch this? Oh, come on.
No, wait a minute. This is supposed to be about
No,
me.
people-
Me.
How old were you when you got married?
18.
18. So you've been with the same man since you were 18.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you some personal questions?
Sure, you could ask.
Okay. Does that mean you lost your virginity to him?
Well, yes.
How is that? I mean, the fact that this was literally the first and only man you were ever with.
How is that?
Yeah, how do you feel that you missed out on anything by not exploring, or do you feel like you gained?
It's completely the opposite. I feel very special. I feel like we've kind of beat the odds. This is a good life. But I truly believe that there's a reason for everything that happens, and that there's a force out there that, I don't know, whether it's God or a spirit or what, that is directing you.
I started this journey to go on this journey of self-discovery and meet women in America and see where we're at as women and where we're going and if we're getting there. And I keep discovering these unbelievable things, and I found out that Charleston, South Carolina, the Angela Shelton in Charleston, tracks sexual predators for a living. And my father lives in Charleston, and he is a child molester. So I'm here, and I'm going here, and I'm here, and here, and here, and here. And right down here, I will do what I need to do, I guess. So what would you say to women in America?
To not be afraid to stand up for yourself and be yourself.
You know, it's my way of sort of looking at where we're at as women in America and where, you know, what we're up to, where we've been and where we're going, and what we think. I love the fact that you're a school teacher. What do you teach?
Teach middle school band, and usually a wild bunch, but just sort of controlled chaos most of the time.
Are you happy with where you're at?
I am. Looking back, it's been a pretty good life. It's been a very full, a lot of exciting things that I wanted to do and wanted to accomplish. I'm only 31. There's still a lot out there to do. But I'm very, very happy with where I am. I guess I'd like to give hope to the people that are that feel hopeless, that, I don't know, that need something more.
I'm Angela Shelton in Los Angeles. No. I'm Angela Shelton. But don't come by. How come? Nobody. I'm invisible, really. If anything, I would love to come meet you and give you a big, huge hug and hear you one time say that you are special. This is so stupid. I mean, who would want to watch it? I mean, why? Say it was just about Angie Shelton. I mean, well, that's because it's my name. I mean, it could be Barbara Smith for all I care. Yeah. It's because it's my name. And it's also for me searching for myself, because, you know, I've never been alone. This is the first time in my life I've ever been alone. Really? Ever. I've always been with a man. I've given up so much of my life for a guy. Yeah, I know. That's why I don't have men. But you have alcohol. Yeah. I think, you know, you represent a lot of people in the world. Even though I'm drunk off my ass, I'm just slower than a dog. You know, and I don't know why cat is more than a dog, but I just know I was abused. How so? I can't even tell my brother what happened. God knows I can't tell you. Well, Angela, you have to release that. You have to tell. You have to let it come out of your mouth because it'll be so powerful. Oh, my father. Oh, my God. I don't even want to go there. Did I tell you my story last time we talked? No, I didn't. Well, I was molested by my father and my brother and my stepmother for 5 years. Well, this is my dad, but I still can't admit it, babe. You still can't admit what? Angela?
So like I said, this was basically me going around America and seeing how we are as women and what we have to say. We just all happen to be named Angela Shelton.
I think that's wild. My parents were wonderful as far as parents go. Provided me with everything. Couldn't want for anything. Grew up in a beautiful home. But we didn't hardly know anything. Everything was very sheltered. Everything is, this is our family. Everything is very perfect. The world is wonderful. That's what we grew up thinking. But it's not. It's not even close. So I do watch my kids, but at the same time, I don't feel like they're sheltered because I want them to know, I want them to understand.
It's really neat that it's showing different women in different situations, and I think it's really neat that women all over the country can see that, and it makes me feel like I'm not alone, that I'm not the abnormal one, that everybody else gets the Brady Bunch family and I, you know, have a different family. So it makes me feel like I'm not alone. My mother has a mental illness. As she got older, the mental illness got worse.
What do you think caused that?
Well, when my mother was growing up, she was actually molested by her father, and my grandparents lived next door to us, so they helped out a lot to make sure that all of me and my sister's needs were met. He was very verbally and physically abusive towards my grandmother.
You ever do anything with any of you kids?
No. My grandmother divorced him, and then she remarried.
Oh, so that's a different grandfather than the one that was violent.
Yes, different.
From a child molester to a wife beater.
Yes. And then my grandfather, that was also the wife beater, was also, you know, if you look at the list for child molesters, he's also on that one too.
How so?
I guess that this girl, or this woman he left my grandmother for, it didn't work out, and then he met another woman, and she had like a 13-year-old daughter. I mean, this is so embarrassing. I guess they seen her, or had a fellow shopper was driving past, or riding their shopping cart past his van, and I guess that he was in the van with this 13-year-old on his lap with her top up in the air, and he was fondling her, and he got turned in. Yeah.
Good that he got turned in.
Yeah.
There's something with vans.
Yeah, there's something with vans.
My father drove a van and still drives a van.
Oh, does he? Maybe it's because they have all that extra space in the back where and it's enclosed, you know, and private. So nobody can see what's going on in the van.
And your father, he was a pedophile.
Yeah,
So were you abused?
very much so.
Really? like, you know.
You know how many women are going through the same exact thing?
I know, I'm totally influenced with alcohol, so the only power I have is alcohol. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What do you think about getting help and going to AA or going to rehab?
See, I wish I could be what I am when I'm drinking. If there was a pill.
You wish you could be what you are when you're drinking?
Yes.
And what is that?
Able to speak. I praise you.
You what?
Praise you so much.
We need to look at ourselves as being special, because if you can't believe in yourself, then it's really hard to get somebody else to believe in you too. I mean, you've got to have self-esteem, and that's probably the hardest thing for people to have, because everybody wants to walk around and feel like that I'm nobody, I can't do it, I wish I was like her, I wish I could be doing that, or I wish I had that, or I wish I looked like that. I feel like we're always discrediting ourselves and not giving ourselves enough credit for who we are and what we're capable of. And you know, you don't have to drive a big car, live in a big house, or have initials behind your name to be somebody, because everybody is somebody. You know, you're special. I'm just excited. I'm high on life. You know, I'm really taking in what life is all about. You know, I'm really seeing the beauty in nature. You know, just this wonderful world that we live in.
Go out and try and do everything you want to do. Don't let anybody hold you back. And if you want to do it badly enough and you work hard enough at it, I think you can do it. So I never really knew if I could make it through vet school or not, to be honest with you, and I did.
And look what I'm doing. This is my job. I'm just totally inspired by all these women because they're so amazing, and it's almost like I want to run and catch up with all of these women. 'Cause I don't really, I'm sort of like, am I there?
Have you any rivers that you think are uncrossable? Or have you any mountains that you can't tunnel through? I tell you, God, specializing, specializing, and He will do what no other power, Holy Ghost power can do.
Oh, you gave me goosebumps. I wish I was a black woman.
My marriage is hard. It's very hard because I have a husband who is deaf, and it seems like I have to work twice as hard as opposed to if I was with someone who is hearing.
Yeah, but I'm at work. The phone means they go ahead, get the phone. Okay, here. My life with Angie is kind of like a fairy tale that will never end. I'm very happy to have her as a mother and a friend and a lover. She changed my life and she opened me up. Sometimes you hit a bump into the moment, but we get back on the wheels and keep going, you know. And so may help another person and benefit them and also themselves too, you know. I'm kind of excited talking about different Angela Shelton. You know, they're incredible, interesting. It helped bring out more. It helped bring out the other Angela Shelton. It's more going when I look at the others.
Yeah.
It helped it out. It helped each other to understand about each other, different cultures, you know?
I look back on my life, you know, And I'm like, wow, the Lord has spared me. I've been raped at gunpoint, and it was a guy that I was dating.
And I went out with him like a couple of times, and the third time I went out with him, I had suppressed a lot of this. I forgot about the gun to my head and all of that. I forgot about that. I thought that I was over that, but the first time you asked me about the rape, I did not want to talk about it because I didn't realize that I still had some feelings about that. And I never told anybody because I thought it was my fault. I just remember him, the first couple of times we dated, he was kind of aggressive and I didn't like him like that. And the last time we dated, which was the third time, the time he raped me, he put a gun to my head. And he took me, and the thing that really messed me up was he took me to an apartment that one of my cousins lived in, and they were like right next door, and I couldn't call and ask anybody for help. But what I look at now is the strength I had in the midst of being raped, violated. I just act like nothing was going on because he was holding a gun to my head.
I don't like to talk about that. I really don't. It makes me angry. Because he got away with it. That was date rape. To force me, you know what I mean?
Most men get away with it.
Yeah.
That almost happened to me. One time, I almost got raped. Me and my best friend Judy. This was many years ago though. I was 19, 20. He was coming from the movies and he ran behind me and grabbed me from behind by my neck and dragged me in the park. And then from there, I was just fighting for my life because I thought he was trying to rob me, but he was going up my dress, trying to break my panties. He broke my shirt. That was the worst experience I ever went through in my life. But see, he couldn't get anything because my friend did not leave me. And she's short. She's so short. She's shorter than you. And she didn't run. She stayed there with me. And we just kept fighting him until he couldn't take no more. All of us females should stick together. Unity. And that we don't have.
Why not?
Why? That I can't explain. I don't know why females the way they are. Because me, myself, I believe in unity.
I do too.
Yes.
That's why I'm doing this.
That's right. You know, I think of my daughter. And she keeps me strong. As long as she's here, you know, that's my motivation.
Nice. Did she see your husband abuse you ever?
Yes. Yeah, she saw it.
How did it start?
It started, you know, because he wanted to be controlling. You know, like, because I went against him. He put his hands on me and hurt me and...
How so? Like,
yes,
how so?
I mean, we was going blow for blow, Angela.
Really?
Yes, and I tried to run up the stairs. He grabbed my leg. I fell on the stairs. Oh, my goodness, my roommate was pregnant at the time, and he was fighting me in the house. My daughter was little, and, you know, he tried to hit my roommate, too, and she was, like, 7 months pregnant, you know, and then I hold him down long enough for her to pick up my daughter and run out the house, you know, to call the police.
Was he drunk? Was it anything to do with alcohol? No, it's just rage.
No, it was just rage. Like a time bomb. You never know when it's gonna go off. But, you know, I think I handled myself good because I was one of the strong-minded women, you know, to get out of it. I didn't stay around for it, saying to myself, oh, he's gonna change, or he's gonna change. He's just like this for now because, you know, and try to find excuses for him. Oh, because he's not working. Oh, because he's stressed. Oh, no.
That's
he put
good.
his hand on you because he want to put his hands on you. Because whether something is bothering him at the time or whatever, I feel it's not right. And no woman should stand for that or go through it. But as long as their self-esteem is low, then of course they will stick with it. Because they feel that, oh, I don't have an education, oh, I don't have no place to go, oh, he's the only one, you know, that I've been with, oh, he does love me. No.
Oh my God. What my father did. What did he do? My mind. Oh my God, I was rolling his eyes. Now he was always in the bedroom, demanding, telling us what we had to do. And what would you have to do? Do you know what my dad used to make me do? He used to make me jerk him off. Hey, that's too weird. My father doesn't remember anything. Well, neither does mine, if that helps you feel any better. It's so funny how they conveniently don't remember anything. Well, no. He has Alzheimer's. Oh, shoot. Now he really doesn't remember anything. Wow, that's hard. How is that for you? Are you going to therapy? No. I can afford this. I'm fine.
What can you do? But continue.
It does get better, and you can get out of a bad situation and turn your life around and make it better for you. Sometimes talking to other women about they've been through, it helps your life.
And even down to my story, my dad.
It's pretty deep.
You know, I actually haven't told the whole story yet. I'm going to do it in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
But truly, living with a man that beats you, for me, is the most scariest thing. I think that you have been to hell and back.
I know. It's scary when nobody knows about it. When you don't tell your family,
Really?
when you don't tell your friends.
Did you have to hide anything?
You can be a pretty honest person and find yourself lying a lot.
Did you pull the whole I fell down the stairs bit?
I have slipped on a rug. No more throw rugs in the house.
Clumsy.
I can't slip. Gosh, why are you so clumsy? But yeah, like I said, you find yourself lying a lot. And that's what I think makes you realize it. You know, you go to domestic and juvenile relations court and it's like, why am I in here with all these people? This isn't me. And it was. And I think one day I was sitting at home. I was at my old place and I was sitting at home and like I said, I was reading through, you know, all of my papers and it was like, that's me. You know, they weren't talking about anybody else.
Were there police reports?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did they help you, the police?
I don't think that, I don't know if it's just that they don't want to get involved, but I didn't find that helpful at all. And, you know, I will say, and I think most people are pretty aware of this, I think law enforcement has one of the largest, like, rates of domestic violence, like law enforcement officers. And then if you're married to one, it doesn't help. That's why I didn't want to answer the question. It's like, leave me alone. Let's get. I will be honest with you, I'd rather be by myself the rest of my life than to go through that ever again. I don't need that in my life.
bottom line. And nobody, I don't care who you are, what you look like, what size you are, what path you're headed, nobody needs to put up with bull from anybody. That's just the way life is. I mean, you just have to snap your fingers, roll with the punches, and just get what's good for you. And that's what I think it's all about. And that's what I think makes me healthy. And that's what I think got me over the hump. Now, I'm not going to say it was easy. It took some time to get over. I mean, it took a long time to build myself back up. But now that I'm there, nobody's not going to tell me that I'm not all that. And some chips, fry, ketchup.
How are you today?
Good.
Great.
Do you know Angela Shelton?
No, I don't know her personally.
Do you know where she... Is there one here in Irwin?
Yes, there is.
Really?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Hey.
Hey. Angela P. Shelton.
Oh, there is a drive-in. Let's go through the drive-in.
Let's go through the drive-in.
Is this Angie Shelton?
It sure is.
This is Angie Shelton. I found you. Hello. I don't get nothing now. Can I pull to the window?
Now you pull on it to the window.
Okay.
I'm Angela Shelton too, I guess. I'm another one. We're everywhere. Let's just put it that way. Well, it's true. We are.
How do you feel about what I'm doing?
It's wild, I think. I've never, heard of anybody trying to do anything like this, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to, hitting this close to home. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just, men can be cruel. They really can. They can be extremely cruel. And then, of course, it's always the woman's fault. So I've just learned to chalk it up. Okay, I did it. Okay, go on. It's over. So.
Doesn't that hurt you in the long run? Deep
Oh, yeah.
down?
Well, it hurts then, but you can get over anything if you try. You really can.
What's your secret?
What's my secret?
Are you over it yet?
I'm strong-willed. I ain't gonna let nobody bring me down no more. That's my secret.
Is there anything that you would tell American women that are going through turmoil? Advice?
That no relationship is worth you losing the most important thing in your life. None, not one I can think of. Nothing's more important to me than my children, for one. It's, they are my life. And I wouldn't let nobody get me down to the point to where you actually wanted to hurt somebody. Because you will eventually. You really will. And I would hurt somebody over my youngins.
She told me not to show up here. Unless she was drunk. Until she wasn't there, we missed her. She'd already left. She's moved since last I spoke to her. And I'm just gonna go try to find her. She's gonna call me. I did write notes. Can I read these notes? Yeah. I live such a lie is the first one.
Thinks I'm so great, and I'm not. Okay, go to the next one.
Alcoholism is a family tradition.
It is. It's a family tradition.
You've caught me at a very low time in my life. I feel like I'm a failure. I hate living this lie, but I do a pretty good job of it. I love comedians, I love humor, I love to laugh. My acting debut. It's a godsend? What's a godsend?
You.
That's nice.
No, really. Angela. You are Angela.
You're Angela too. We're all Angela.
I'm ugly.
Oh. You gotta stop with that. I don't think you're ugly at all.
Yes,
You know what? That's like your father saying to you, what did he used to say to you?
Lower than a dog.
You're lower than a dog. Yeah, that's lovely.
But I am.
So you believe him? Oh, sweetie. Can I give you a hug?
Lights just went out. Heaters on the blink. Candles burning, stomachs churning. You can't even think. No one you can call. No one wants to hear. Failures now and yet somehow you feel someone is near. You are not alone. This too shall pass, I know. You could crawl in a hole and die, but why? It's a lie. Close your eyes, go to sleep, child. Today just isn't your day. Tomorrow it might not be this way. Keep fighting, keep breathing, keep living anyway. This house is not your home, hold on, okay?
His father. And my father? Yeah. Oh, you want to know what's funny? Is my father lives in Charleston, South Carolina. Yes, he does. And there's an Angela Shelton that lives in Charleston, South Carolina. And you know what she does for a living? She tracks sexual predators. No, I mean, see, you freak me out.
They say she never really knew.
Well, my parents, they're married and 6 years, and they had me. And when I was 3, my father left my mother for her best friend. Her best friend had 2 kids, my stepbrother and my stepsister. So I went to live with them, and he was essentially marrying the children. Granted, he was marrying the woman that would allow him to have the children and allow him to, be a pedophile and not do anything about it. Actually, she was a major culprit in it. I actually went to live with them because at 3, my mom, she asked me who I wanted to live with, and I said, Daddy, because his wife made Kool-Aid, and I lived there from 3 to 8.
About me growing up, is there anything you would have done differently?
Oh, sure. Right. I would have never let you go live with your father in the first place.
The decision was because everyone thought at the time that they were looking out for your best interest. You were the most important part of the subject at the time.
Would you have still thought that now?
Oh, now that I know that your father did what he did to you? No. Who would have ever thought that, though? Who would have ever... That was the deceiver. He knew how to appear as though he had it all together. He was the perfect American family.
What do you think about what I went through when I was a kid?
Well, I think it was terrible. I don't think any child should go through any type of experience like that.
My father's excuse always was that it was sexual education in the home. That was his thing. And he would make us all get naked, and he would lay his wife on the bed and spread her legs and open her up and show her to us. And then he would try to get Stephen, her son, to have sex with his own mother. My stepmother allowed it to happen.
Did she know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did she?
She opened the door.
How can a woman sit to the side and knowing that her daughter is being abused by this man, but she stays with the man?
Everybody was doing everything to each other, and if you didn't, you got beat, and if you did, it was just sort of how it was.
Did he ever do that to you?
Yeah.
Really?
My father would be in the bedroom, naked, on the waterbed. When I went in there, I would have to go in with my sister.
Oh, my God.
But I never had to go in by myself. I'd have to go in there, and we'd have to jerk him off.
Oh, my God, Angela.
My father had to go to trial. That's not true. He had to go to a hearing as opposed to a trial.
Yeah. At the point that the judge made the decision on custody, the next step would be to put them in jail. And your mom and my dad didn't want to put us through a public trial, which is what it would have been. We would have had to get on the stand in front of a jury, in front of open court.
It would have been televised.
And they made the decision that they didn't want that to happen.
Literally, it would be a miniseries. Because if it was 1979, you don't think, kids are being molested. You'd think, oh, just take the kids out. You don't think once a pedophile, always a pedophile. It's not like you change your mind one day. And all the kids were separated. Well, they went to live with their real father, and I went back to my mother. Their father told Lisa that I didn't want to see her, and that my mother didn't think it was necessary or didn't approve of us ever seeing each other. And he told my mother that Lisa didn't want to see me ever because she didn't want to be reminded of anything that went on in that house. And we, as little kids, believed him, and I was depressed for years. And at 18, I get this letter 10 years later. I don't know if you're going to remember who I am, but I lived with you. I was your sister once. So I found out what happened in the room when she would have to go in with my dad.
I can't stand waterbeds to this day. I hate them. I don't, it's not a conscious reason. There's just something about that repulses me.
She was too small for him to put his penis inside of her. So he would insert crayons and magic markers.
He did everything you can possibly do with a child other than actual intercourse. He was actually poised to insert and said, oh, not yet. We can't do it yet.
When all this started, it was drilled into our head. Something that happens in people's homes that you just don't talk about. It's understood that you don't talk about it. And then, when we did talk about it and we went through court, everybody just made us feel like that is disgusting. We don't want to know what happened. Don't talk about it. Just get on with your life. This is something that was in the past. Just move on with your life. Don't even talk about it. And you get to the point where you believe it really is something disgusting, and you don't talk about it. And then it means that there's something wrong with you, that it happened to you.
You have to sort of come to a place where you're ready to deal with it. And if you're not ready, it's not going to do you any good to talk about it.
It's amazing to me that he's not in jail. Amazing. I mean, he was the candy man. He owned that arcade. When I went and picked up those court papers?
They remember.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was walking around. I'm like, wasn't there an arcade here once? And this guy at this hardware store goes, oh, yeah, it was some child molester. I'm like, wow, that's my dad. And then behind all that, my brother was molesting us. And he, to this day, will not talk about it. I'm going to try to get him to talk about it, but he won't talk about it. I haven't really talked to him since I was 8. 20 years. The last time I talked to him was when I was 18. I came down here like the black sheep of the family with all the court papers, and he completely avoided me then. And now we're going there, and I don't really know how I feel.
What are you looking for? What are you trying to get out of this? Is this a cathartic exercise for you? And if it is, I'm here for you 100%. Whatever you want to talk about, we'll talk about. Maybe by being so vehemently opposing it, in opposition of it, I was contributing to the culture of silence that goes along with this. Because that is the big thing. That was the big thing. After Lisa and I, after the trial was over, we weren't supposed to talk about it. It was something that was over. It was something they wanted us to leave behind. They didn't want us to dwell on it. So when this came up and Lisa called me and she said, well, I've already told Angie you're not going to talk to her. And I said, well, that may not be the case.
What do you think about what I'm doing?
Okay, God's honest truth. I think that you're looking for something. I think that you're working through something. And I hope that you find what you're looking for. I hope that you get out of this what you need to get. That's why I'm here. That's the only reason I'm here. I have no need to go back through all this. If I really wanted to sit down and have a pity party, I could say, you know, I was really dealt a lousy hand because I started off being molested. Then I wound up being gay in one of the most conservative areas of the country. My parents were small town people. They had no frame of reference for how to deal with this. I mean, some of the worst things that happened to me were things that people did for my own good. And I've had so many people ask me, do you think you're gay because you were molested? You know? Well, short answer, no. Long answer, yes, with a but. And I was directly in the middle of the Oedipal stage. And here you have a man who is offering me my mother sexually. And at the same time, he's her husband. I mean, talk about conflict. I was not his focus.
My dad used to make her pose.
Lisa was a pedophile's dream.
Insecure, little.
Yeah, and beautiful, incredibly beautiful, even as a child. And Lisa had, you know, a look about her, not a look that she cultivated, but Lisa had a look about her that he responded to.
I went through guilt, major guilt, because that's my dad.
The guilt that I went through was, and I think this is the guilt that most molested children go through, is that there was a part of me that enjoyed it. It was exciting. Because there is a natural inclination to be sexual.
Yeah.
But it was too early. It was just like you wouldn't give a 5-year-old a beer in their bottle. You don't give a child sexuality. They're not ready to handle it. And it took me a while to realize, just like you, sexuality is okay. We were just exposed way too early.
Yeah.
And by totally the wrong people. And some of the things that I have done have been the hardest things to deal with.
What you did to Lisa and I was only learned behavior.
That's by far the most horrible part for me. That is the thing that I've had the most difficult time dealing with. That is my nightmare. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that I've avoided you.
Well, I forgive you.
Thank you. I'm working on forgiving myself.
What you did was, learned behavior.
And the mental, logical side of my mind, of my brain knows that. But the emotional part of me is having to catch up. I want it to be okay for you. That's why I'm here. That's why I agreed to do this.
It is okay for me. It's just hard.
I know it is.
I'm so sorry for what he did.
It's not your fault.
I know.
Had nothing to do with you.
I know. But it's my dad. I feel like I'm on a crusade to like fix all the things that he ever did to kids, you know?
You can't fix it all.
I know. I can try.
I do like to help people, and I love the law aspect of things, and I really want to work with maybe special victims, elderly abuse, and rape victims, and child abuse, and I want to do that through the criminal justice system.
What would you want the world to know about you?
I guess I'm just a hard worker, and I'm really looking to just make a difference in the world. No matter whatever option comes to me, I like to get in and let's make things better. But when I was adopted by the Sheltons when I was 5 days old. So I was born to a really young girl. Her parents, the story I hear is that her parents were embarrassed that she was pregnant.
Is there anything you want to say to your birth mom?
Well, I might cry.
That's okay. I'm crying.
I think, I don't know, I always thought I would tell her thank you because I know she couldn't take care of me. And I know she did what was best for me. And I think what a wonderful woman she must have been to keep me for 5 days and take care of me and fly with me to a different state. And then before a judge, say this is my child and I want her to have a better life and give me up. And I think she just must be an incredible person to be able to do that, because I don't know that I would be able to do it if I was in that same place. And she just gave me so many opportunities I might not have had, and I'm really, really thankful for that. Well, I've never met another Angela Shelton before, so it'll be really exciting and interesting to see how all of us, even though we have the same name, come from such different, you know, backgrounds.
Like, they're all nurses, and 2 teachers, and then you, criminal justice. That's mean.
Yeah, I was in nursing school. I went to nursing school.
That is so funny.
Yeah, isn't that bizarre?
Tracking sexual predators and things like that, how does that work?
Well, most sexual crimes are never even reported. So statistics on sexual crimes are considered to be kind of inaccurate because a lot of women will be raped or sexually assaulted and they won't report it, either because it's a family member or they're too embarrassed or they're too ashamed or they think the police can't do anything about it. I think a woman should have a plan and just say, you know what, bad things can happen to me and this is my plan if it happens, and hopefully it never will. Like with my husband, before we got married, I said, you ever lay a hand on me, I'm out the door and I will never be back. I mean, I think that's what women have to do. You can't be a pushover. You have to say, look, this is my boundary. I'm not moving past my boundary, and if you're not willing to live with my boundary, then see you later. We're just going to let the cycle keep repeating itself because nobody's going to want to take a step in and break that cycle. And I just have a really big problem with that. So people, they knew he was abusing you guys, and nobody ever filed charges?
Oh, no, what happened is my brother told. And when he told his father called social services, and social workers came and picked my sister and I up at school and took us directly from school to a foster care. We never went home again. That was pretty traumatic. And they starved us at that foster care place. That's why I find it so wonderful that one of the Angela Sheltons is, you know, renting out space to a company that screens families for foster care. It's so nice.
And your father's never charged with anything?
It was requested that he and my stepmother go to therapy, which they did, and he's so manipulative.
So that manipulated
that they said there's nothing wrong with him. He's always had a job where he travels, always in a van.
How frightening is that?
Yeah, When I was a kid, he was the candy man.
Oh my God.
Then
a nightmare.
Yeah. Then his van was always filled with candy and had a mattress in the back.
Oh my God.
And he owned an arcade.
Anything so the kids could come, right?
Yeah. Way, way before that, when he was married to my mom, he was a counselor in a boys' juvenile delinquent home. Predators are always in those type of jobs.
And they're the kind of people you would think wouldn't do it.
Ever.
No.
Ever.
He's a good guy. I wouldn't.
You said you had a list of.
Yeah, but it's
predators.
everybody who has been charged or has been convicted of a sexual predatory type crime.
And how many were there?
I can't remember. I told you on the phone when it was
400 something.
Yeah, they're here in Charleston County alone. And when we lived over on the beach, funny that, right? That was where the majority of them lived, was right in that little circumference around us. If you think about it, the beach, why wouldn't they want to be at the beach? Kids walking off to get ice cream by themselves. I think information is key. You know, now more than ever, you can go to a website. I mean, 5 years ago, you couldn't go to a website and see who the sexual predators were.
So many people don't want to hear it.
No, they don't. It's kind of one of those taboo subjects. Even if they've experienced it, they don't want to hear other people talk about it. It's bury it deep and kind of embarrassing. And
actually, it's really not embarrassing.
No.
I mean, because so many of us go through it.
But nobody else knows everybody else goes through it.
Right, exactly.
You know? In your place, I'd be knocking on his door.
But I get to go see him.
What are you gonna say to him?
I have no idea.
Are you gonna let him know that?
I've let him know already once in a letter, but he didn't respond.
You're going to see him?
Yeah, there's an Angela Shelton that lives in his town. And guess what she does for a living? She tracks sexual predators. That's what I said.
Well, that'd be beautiful. And I love that idea. Expose him.
We need to teach others how to talk about it so they can get it out. Because if you don't get it out, you keep on pushing it down. If you keep on pushing it down, then it keeps on spreading.
If there was that many Angela Sheltons that were treated like that, just think how many more women that are not Angela Sheltons that have been treated the same way.
You better remember, you got a whole lot of people back here waiting for you to lead them in the right direction. So where are you going?
I think that you really need to confront them because I think in the end it's going to make you a better person.
I gotta go see Papa.
Yep. You gotta do it.
Stay strong.
This is it.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that you're working through something. And I hope that you find what you're looking for.
Give me strength. God, give me strength. God, give me strength. Holy. Happy Father's Day.
What in the world? How are you? Can we talk now?
Yeah.
What are you doing, sweetheart?
Making a movie. And I'm seeing every Angela Shelton in the country. And for me personally, all roads lead to you, Dad.
All right, okay. But honey, some of that stuff that you wrote in that letter, a lot of it was not true. I mean...
How come you didn't respond to my letter?
I didn't know how. I mean, it just upset me so bad. You were the light of my eye. But the nudist camp did us in. Because that's when Lisa said something up there, and then that was just such a terrible time. But what happened to us? Can we love each other? I know, but can you love me?
I do love you. You're my dad. I have a love-hate relationship with you.
Okay, but can the hate maybe slowly die?
I have to forgive you.
Well, okay, well, man, do you think somewhere down the road you can do that?
Well, that's sort of why I came here. But I sort of need to hear it from you, but you're not telling me what I want to know.
Honey, I mean, you're here now. I mean, it's been umpteen years since we've seen each other. Why would I lie now? I mean, honey, I swear, I don't know where you got this from. I did not have anything to do with Stephen becoming gay. I never touched him. I mean, God above, please. I mean, I'm dead serious. Strike me dead this instant. I mean, this very instant at 6 months till 10. If I did that, I wish. Yes, Lord, please do it. And I try to be very religious. I wish he would. I wish he would strike me dead this very instant. If I did it, that's all I can say. I did not. I swear on 10 Bibles. I swear on my love for you.
What about when Lisa and I jerked you up? Do you remember that?
I remember one time being, and it wasn't jerked off. I was never jerked off. That there was a picture or something that we took.
There was a whole photo album of Polaroids.
No, it wasn't a picture. It wasn't a picture.
Well, that's classic pedophilia. You have tokens that you take, and you have pictures so you can relive it later. Classic pedophilia.
There was a rub down involved, and that was the last time. But there was no jerking off. And then when you put in that letter that you were there.
I was there. I remember that. That was the only time I was ever in the room with Lisa. The rest of the time she was alone in the room. And I only knew...
Well, y'all were fully clothed.
Yeah, we were.
Yep. But there was no ejaculation. But I don't even remember you being there. I don't remember, but I didn't. But there was no ejaculation period. I mean, that's vile. And I made stupid mistakes about the nudist colony and the running around with our clothes off. But
yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I know, but I didn't do any of that other shit.
You did everything you can possibly do with a child other than actual intercourse.
How come everyone would be lying then?
I don't know if it's really classed as a lie.
It just seems crazy to me that they would be lying.
Well, honey,
I mean, do you think that you blocked that out?
No, I didn't block it out.
I kept telling the attorney, I said, look, we don't have to go to court. There's a whole picture book full of this stuff. All you have to do is get a search warrant and go get the picture. You know, they're all there. And they were. And I'm sure they were destroyed before the hearing or whatever.
Over the years, things get... It's almost like the story of the Halley's Comet. And I know you've heard that, you know, where somebody sees something in the sky, they don't know what it is, and then all of a sudden, after it goes 20 times, or think about it, or try to repeat the story, it gets to where it's almost like a piece of the moon or a piece of another planet falling to the earth. It's not, I mean, it just keeps adding to and adding to. But I promise you, that's all I can say. And the same thing again is that God treat me terrible. I mean, because I didn't do that. And I wouldn't do that. I mean, that is absolutely, that's sick. I mean, sick. And I would never, ever, I respect the woman too much to do that.
And, you know, I can remember even then just having contempt for him. Just thinking he is such an ass.
And I'm not saying that anybody, I don't know, it's just that over the years, our thoughts, our people talking and people putting, well, did that happen or did this happen? Maybe it did, and I mean, and after all these years, God knows, a kitten has all of a sudden become a tiger. I mean, in that kind of a, comparison.
Told the lawyer that was their way of life, their sex training.
Sex education in the home. was his excuse.
All I know is that I did not do that. I swear to it. And
Do you know what Stephen used to do to us?
the only thing I ever know is what he said that he tried to do something with you one time, but no, I don't know anything
No, it was
else.
constant. We always played games. We gave him head. He gave us head.
Or you was sick. Oh.
He put broomstick up his ass. He put the handle of the mirror up his ass and walk around.
Oh, Angie. Oh.
And at 12 years old, I don't know, I don't think you just learn that. I mean, you don't just wake up one day and say, I want to put a broom handle in my ass.
Well, where are you saying he got that from?
Well, now I'm wondering.
Well, I didn't do anything. I swear to God, Angie, I mean, damn. I mean, holy mackerel. No way.
Sympathy for him would be too strong a word. I guess I kind of feel about him the way you would feel about a rabid dog. You know, it's a terrible thing that he is sick. But all things considered, I think that he must be just miserable.
I'm not trying to be a psychiatrist here or a psychologist, but I don't know if it was possible, and I'm just using that very loosely, for something to be transferred. I mean, what I mean that is that if all this stuff did happen, and I don't have any doubt not to believe you, that over the course of time, since I'm so-called the villain, that it was me, subconsciously, instead of Stephen. I did not do it. I did not do it. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that I've always heard that there's such a strong relation between brother and sister, that there's no, I don't know. I'm just wondering. And like I said, over the years, her mother and I divorced. I'm the villain. If, again, maybe that I became Stephen, so to speak. I mean, in essence, I don't know. I'm just drawing at straws right now. But all I know is that I did not do it. And I can't say it enough. I can't, it's repetitive. I mean, I did not do it. And that's all I can say. And if you want me to, because it's the gospel truth, I can put it on my tombstone. I did not do it. And I wouldn't be the least bit afraid of anything happening, because I didn't do it. I want us to go forward. I'm not stupid enough. I mean, I want you, and I want you in my life. But I'm not going to sit here and feel like that the only way that I can have you in my life is to admit to something to make you feel better that I swear to God as my witness I didn't do. Because I didn't do it. That's a promise in blood. Our blood. I did not do it. I'm not a manipulator as such.
You lie.
I'll say it one more time and then I'm not going to say it again. Because I've said it enough. I did not do those terrible things. And that's it.
I literally want to kill someone right now. I'm so pissed off. I'm so pissed off. I'm so pissed off. I can't believe that I've sat there and talked to him. That's all. therapy with my therapist along some deserted road. And I told her exactly what happened, and he sat there and just denied everything! And she talked about how it totally with my own reality, and you actually sit there and think that that really didn't happen. You actually start thinking in your head, questioning yourself. My sister, you put cans! Cans! Oh my God, it's a graveyard. Okay. I needed to do that.
Pretend like it didn't happen, but you have to be able to face it and then move on.
You have to parent yourself. And I wanted to just lose it on him, and then I'm thinking it's completely
A waste of your energy.
yeah, a waste of my energy. I would rather just allow myself to
mourn the death.
I gotta take this t-shirt off. It's really hard looking at that I come from a monster who doesn't think he's a monster.
I got angry a couple of times. He started saying that he respects too many respects about women and then the female being, and I said, what about children, bastard? And I said, but now you know, I feel for you because you have just opened a huge can of worms. This is the beginning of a real journey. Because now you have to, if you want to keep living, you have to forgive.
He'll just, it sounds like he absolutely remembers exactly what happens and just won't admit to it. And I just think he's like, I don't know.
Were you hurting for me to like wail on him?
You did better. I think I would have just freaking clubbed him. I mean, you know, people like that make me so angry, and you know, he's gotten away with it for so long. If we can't do justice, I think God's got someplace even better that we can't even imagine. And
That's why I think it's so fun. Oh, Sylvia, super Sylvia.
I just couldn't believe it. He just was sitting there completely, totally denying everything you were saying to him. I hate him.
I literally wanted to start yelling at him, and I didn't. And I was thinking, oh my God, you guys are probably hating me in here, wanting me to like punch him or something. And I just couldn't. I have to just sit there and be at peace with myself. How do you feel, Gallo?
I just really, you know, this whole journey has been difficult for me because I have 3 kids and I didn't give as much thought to it as I would now, and I kind of wish I wouldn't either also, you know. It's a little bit too much, the overwhelming feeling of all of the just the disgusting, horrid people out there that appear to be innocent. And, you know, it's just very sad that he couldn't come clean.
You have a long life ahead of you to be angry. It takes so much energy to be angry and to be mad at somebody for what they did. I see a lot of suffering, and I wanted to give something back to the community, so I decided that I was going to go down and work at the child abuse center. It's when I learned that you bring your children up to think, watch out for strangers and the bad guy, but nobody says, watch out for Uncle Joe. And so usually they're the abusers. But I learned a lot, and it just broke my heart. I couldn't do it. I was of no help to them because it just made me so sad. So I knew that I can't work with kids. I can't do it.
You can work with the elderly.
Well, yeah, I can.
Just as important.
Well, bless those that can work with the kids, because I would just be in tears all the time. I think it's sad, that there's people out there that would abuse children. And you have to let those people not ruin your life because of what they did. You can't let people, they make me feel, he makes me feel. What's that? You're in charge of your feelings, and you're in charge of who you are. Why are you going to let somebody put you down or make you feel bad? You have to put things aside. You have to forgive, and I don't know if you have to forget. You can't ever forget, because if you forget, then the same thing might keep happening.
We need to come together first as women, and not just black women, not just white women, but just as women in general, because that's our bond. I'm pretty comfortable with myself.
Do you feel safe?
In certain neighborhoods. You don't just go anywhere. You have to be smart, too. I'm learning how to use it. This is a little weapon here. Punch with it and come back and get somebody right up there in the throat there. Take them out if you had to. Because, you see so many people's lives that have taken turns different from yours, and they could have easily have been me. We're all angels.
My Muslim name is Malika, which means angel in Arabic, and it's the men's name and the women's name.
I know it always feels like we have to come with a big giant cardboard check. Like, you won! You're my last Angela. I'm really sad.
Well, no, you're the last one. Are you disappointed with your Angela Shelton?
Not at all. They're all very inspiring. So what would you say your philosophy on life is, Angela?
Let me see. To learn something new every day, from the cradle to the grave, yeah.
What would you change about the world if you could?
Tell people never lose hope, because there's always hope for the next day. And as you see the new sunrise, put a smile on your face and remember that.
Specializes in things that are impossible, and he will do what no other power, Holy Ghost power, can do.
That's why I know there's a God. You came into my life, and I wasn't alone anymore. So, and I just wish everyone could do what I did, and feel good about themselves and get rid of the lower than a dog syndrome. Yes.
A lot of us, especially abuse victims, feel that we're unworthy or unlovable. And we really are doing that to ourselves. Really, it's about making a choice. What they did to you does not define who you are, and you gotta love yourself. Yeah, you gotta. Oh, I know, and I do now. Did I just hear the anonymous Angela Shelton say she loves herself? Yeah, we'll get there.
This is cool. Praise God.
Praise God!
Sometimes you just need to live a little and hurt a little before you realize what your purpose is.
You're strong enough to break the cycle. And then from you let the new generation start of all this crap having nothing to do with your life.
Everybody said that you looked funny. You'll never make it in this town, honey. And it got you down for a minute. But it's too late, 'cause now you're in it for the long haul, down that long road. Don't let this town get you, don't let that door hit you. But if they shut one door, then you open another. There's no telling where you'll go from here. And if they take your spirit, keep your soul undercover. Make your path and just stay in the clear. So be wise, be strong, be you. There's nothing that you can't do, my dear. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I feel rejuvenated. I feel like I learned a lot on this trip. I learned that I could do it. I did it. I have that 33-foot RV sitting outside my house right now that I've got to clean and return. And I got my brother back. I claim him, as he says. He claims me. And just because you have a parent doesn't mean that they have to be in your life. That's what I learned. And I learned that you can really do anything you want to do. As long as we all support each other. But actually, number one, support yourself. And to women in America, I would say, just do it. You gotta believe in yourself, because so many people, told me I couldn't do this. And look, I just got back. It's been 57 days. I definitely renewed my faith in God, in the universe. I had some amazing spiritual experiences. I met some amazingly spiritual women. Even though we don't necessarily have the same beliefs, I think that we're praying to the same God. And I completely just let go, and what a weight lifted off of me.
There comes a time in your life that you are no longer merely the product of your parents. There comes a time in your life that you become your own person. And yes, bad things may have happened to you, but it's your decision how the rest of the story goes.
Vulnerability. Come, courageous one. Come, as radiant
What's that?
as you are.
A little white trash.
That's me.
I'm no longer searching for me.
Leave our past behind. Come, my love, my love, my love. Come, my love.
This trip has made me really think. I'm just gonna keep thinking.
Life works in mysterious ways, doesn't it? Yes, it does.
Everybody said that you looked funny. You'll never make it in this town, honey, and it got you down for a minute. But it's too late, 'cause now you're in it for the long haul, down that long road. Don't let this town get you, don't let that door hit you. But if they shut one door, then you open another. There's no telling where you'll go from here. And if they take your spirit, keep your soul undercover, make your path and just stay in the clear. So be wise, be strong, be you. There's nothing that you can't do, my dear. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Everybody said that you'd be nothing. Called you geek, thought it was becoming, and it made you mad for a while. But anger is not your style. It never has been, it never will be. Don't let these people trip you, don't let that door hit you. But if they shut one door, then you open another. There's no telling where you'll go from here. And if they take your spirit, keep your soul undercover, make your path and just stay in the clear. So be wise, be strong, be you. There's nothing that you can't do, my dear. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. They said you'd never make it. They all forgot your name. They've never seen an angel. So who's the hill to blame? They've never heard your music, so they can't remember your song. They keep on slamming that door, but you just keep moving on. But if they shut one door, then you open another. There's no telling where you'll go from here. And if they take your spirit, keep your soul undercover, make your path and just stay in the clear. So be wise.